Generally, a box is required for mounting light fixtures. The National Electrical Code sets safety standards for electrical installations and usually mandates light fixtures be mounted on electrical boxes, unless specifically permitted otherwise. There are a few exceptions where light fixtures may be mounted without a box. Firstly, when mounting fixtures directly to non-combustible ceilings like metal or concrete, if the fixture has a canopy that forms a rain-tight seal with the ceiling. Secondly, certain surface-mounted fixtures, such as sconces, can be mounted directly to non-combustible walls without a box, provided they have an integral backplate that covers the wires and forms a rain-tight seal. Thirdly, vanity lights are often mounted directly to drywall or plaster walls above a mirror without a box. However, the fixture must have a canopy that conceals the wiring and terminal connections. The reasons for requiring boxes are for support, protection, fire safety, and insulation. Boxes provide secure support for light fixtures, ensuring they are properly aligned and securely attached. Boxes protect the electrical connections and wires from damage. Boxes help prevent fires by containing any electrical arcs or sparks that may occur. Boxes provide insulation between the fixture and the combustible surface, preventing heat buildup. While it might be possible to mount fixtures without the box in specific situations, such as outdoor garage lights, entry lights, or vanity lights, if they meet the listed exceptions, it is always recommended to install the box whenever possible for safety and code compliance. It's important to elaborate on the specific requirements and considerations for each of these exceptions to ensure safe and code-compliant installations. For fixtures mounted on non-combustible surfaces, the key is the rain-tight seal and the non-combustible nature of the mounting surface. This ensures that moisture cannot penetrate the wiring and that the surface will not contribute to a fire hazard. The fixture itself must also be listed and labeled for this type of installation. When dealing with surface-mounted fixtures on non-combustible walls, again, the integral back plate is crucial. This plate must completely cover the wiring and provide a rain-tight seal to prevent moisture intrusion. The fixture must also be securely mounted to the wall to prevent it from becoming dislodged. Vanity lights mounted directly to drywall or plaster walls require careful attention to the canopy. The canopy must be large enough to completely conceal the wiring and terminal connections, and it must be securely attached to the wall. It is also important to ensure that the wiring is properly supported and protected within the wall cavity. Beyond these exceptions, it's worth considering the benefits of using electrical boxes even when they are not strictly required. Electrical boxes provide a standardized and secure mounting point for fixtures, making it easier to install and maintain them. They also provide a degree of protection for the wiring, reducing the risk of damage from physical contact or environmental factors. Moreover, electrical boxes can help to contain any electrical arcs or sparks that may occur, reducing the risk of fire. It's also important to understand the different types of electrical boxes available and their suitability for different applications. Some common types of electrical boxes include plastic boxes, metal boxes, and weatherproof boxes. Plastic boxes are lightweight and easy to install, but they may not be as durable as metal boxes. Metal boxes are more durable and can provide better protection for the wiring, but they are also heavier and more difficult to install. Weatherproof boxes are designed for outdoor use and provide protection against moisture and other environmental factors. When selecting an electrical box, it's important to consider the size and shape of the fixture, the type of wiring being used, and the environmental conditions. The box must be large enough to accommodate the wiring and connections, and it must be compatible with the type of wiring being used. It must also be suitable for the environmental conditions in which it will be installed. For example, a weatherproof box should be used in a damp or wet location. In addition to selecting the right type of electrical box, it's also important to install it properly. The box must be securely mounted to the wall or ceiling, and the wiring must be properly connected to the terminals. It's also important to ensure that the box is properly grounded to prevent electrical shock. When working with electricity, it's always important to follow safety precautions. Turn off the power to the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate safety gear such as gloves and eye protection. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a comprehensive set of standards for electrical installations. It is updated every 3 years, and it covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. The NEC is adopted by many states and local jurisdictions, and it is often used as a basis for electrical inspections. It's important to be familiar with the NEC requirements that apply to your specific electrical project. You can find the NEC online or at your local library. If you have any questions about the NEC, it's best to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector. They can help you understand the code requirements and ensure that your electrical installation is safe and code compliant. Furthermore, it's important to address some common misconceptions about electrical boxes and light fixture installations. One common misconception is that if a fixture has a large canopy, an electrical box is not needed. While a large canopy may cover the wiring and connections, it does not provide the same level of support, protection, and fire safety as an electrical box. Another misconception is that if a fixture is mounted on a non-combustible surface, an electrical box is not needed. While it is true that fixtures can be mounted directly to non-combustible surfaces in certain situations, it is still important to ensure that the wiring is properly protected and that the fixture is securely mounted. A further point to consider is the importance of using the correct wiring methods for light fixture installations. The NEC specifies different wiring methods for different applications, and it's important to use the correct wiring method for your specific project. For example, non-metallic sheathed cable, or NM cable, is commonly used for residential wiring, but it is not suitable for all applications. In some cases, it may be necessary to use metal conduit or other types of wiring methods to provide adequate protection for the wiring. Moreover, when installing light fixtures, it's important to pay attention to the ampacity of the wiring. The ampacity of a wire is the maximum amount of current that it can safely carry. The NEC specifies the ampacity of different types of wires, and it's important to use wires that are large enough to handle the load of the fixture. If the wires are too small, they can overheat and cause a fire. Beyond the technical aspects, it's also important to consider the aesthetic aspects of light fixture installations. The fixture should be properly aligned and securely mounted to the wall or ceiling, and the wiring should be neatly concealed. A well-installed light fixture can enhance the appearance of a room and provide adequate lighting for the space. When installing light fixtures, it's also important to consider the location of other electrical components, such as outlets and switches. The fixtures should be positioned so that they do not interfere with the operation of these other components, and they should be accessible for maintenance and repairs. Also, it is essential to use the proper tools and equipment when installing light fixtures. This includes wire strippers, pliers, screwdrivers, and voltage testers. Using the correct tools will make the job easier and safer. Before starting any electrical work, it's always a good idea to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector. They can provide guidance on the code requirements and help you ensure that your installation is safe and compliant. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to take precautions to protect yourself and others. In addition to the NEC, there may be other local codes and regulations that apply to electrical installations. It's important to check with your local building department to determine the specific requirements for your area. Failing to comply with local codes can result in fines and other penalties. Finally, it is important to remember that electrical work is not a do-it-yourself project for everyone. If you're not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience to perform electrical work safely and properly. They can also ensure that your installation is code compliant. In summary, while there are exceptions to the rule, it's generally required to use an electrical box when mounting light fixtures. These boxes provide essential support, protection, and fire safety. Always prioritize safety and code compliance, and when in doubt, consult with a qualified electrician. The information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector before starting any electrical work. Remember to always prioritize safety and follow all applicable codes and regulations. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to take precautions to protect yourself and others. By following these guidelines, you can help ensure that your light fixture installations are safe, code compliant, and aesthetically pleasing. This includes careful planning, proper wiring methods, correct opacity, secure mounting, and compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. Also, bear in mind the importance of regular maintenance and inspections of electrical systems. Over time, wiring and connections can deteriorate, increasing the risk of electrical hazards. Regular inspections can help to identify potential problems before they become serious. Finally, remember that electrical codes and regulations are constantly evolving. It's important to stay up to date on the latest changes to ensure that your electrical installations remain safe and code compliant. There are also various resources available to help you learn more about electrical safety and code compliance. These resources include books, websites, and training courses. Taking the time to educate yourself about electrical safety can help you protect yourself and your family from electrical hazards. And remember, when dealing with electrical systems, it's always better to be safe than sorry. When in doubt, consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector. They can provide the expert advice and guidance you need to ensure that your electrical installations are safe and code compliant. This thorough approach to light fixture installations, including understanding the exceptions, utilizing electrical boxes whenever possible, following proper wiring methods, and staying informed about electrical codes and regulations, will ensure a safe and reliable electrical system.